All right.
Gorgeous.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
How's it going today?
Great, how are you doing?
Good. Just getting your pedal on?
Yes.
I can tell.
Time to get training.
Yeah, working up a sweat. So I got a good challenge for you today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking about like how much improvement I've made with my braking skills. You ready for this? We're gonna take a look at a zone and we're gonna see if we can get a really difficult line through the zone, courtesy of some expert braking skills.
All right, I'm up for the challenge.
All right, so let's lean bikes up and let's take a look at the challenge I have for you today. I'm putting it in with a French accent because we're prepping for like super tech terrain here.
Okay.
All right. By the way, if you ever want to come to the Alps, check out the link below. Come on, let's go.
Okay. I'm here.
All right. So what we're going to work on today is rolling down this roll down. Here we have basically, I mean, as we can see from up here, we've got a pretty vertical entry into this, and we've already worked on rolling down steep terrain together before. Obviously here, these are just cones, so if the first time down you need to just go straight, that's fine. But if you can, what we're going to start with is this blue line here. Okay, so as the bicycle compresses at the base of this hill, you're going to try to get right into your footwork. So both of us being left foot forward, this is going to be our front foot turn.
Yeah, I noticed you did that on purpose.
Yeah, I try to make it more challenging, right? So then we're going to take that from making our footwork at the base of the hill, and we're going to try to get some footwork going here while we're doing a little bit of a brake slide. Okay, so this is going to be what we call trail braking, where we're taking advantage of the changing angles of the bicycle as we're braking hard. So we'll be coming into here, braking hard with both brakes. That's going to basically put some pressure into the front end of the bicycle, and then we're going to let off the front brake. The back end is going to drift a little bit, and that's going to allow us to get the red line.
Oh.
Okay, so we're going to try to set up so that we're going straight into the red line here, more or less, so that we're not trying to turn on this hill, because that would be really, really sketchy, right? So we're going to try to come into here, get a little brake slide going, and then take the red line. All right, so we can see here, like this is actually pretty steep. It's actually pretty much vertical as we get down in there. So we're really gonna have to be on our game. For the blue line, we're gonna make the compression at the base of the hill. If we look at this here, notice that this is kind of sticking out. Like I don't wanna hit into here with my front wheel. So I can't really afford to turn on the hill itself. I need to be turning down in here if I'm gonna get it. So it's a pretty specific line.
Okay.
This is gonna be potentially challenging for you. But we'll see how far we get.
Yes, we will. All right, you go first.
Okay. All right, so this one doesn't take a lot of speed coming in this way. So I'm making my footwork at the base of the hill. I'll do one more of those just so you can really see the timing. I'm really taking advantage of this moment of compression at the base of the hill right here to move into my footwork. All right.
Oop, no footwork.
Not a lot of footwork, right? Yeah, it was fine though. You didn't need a lot at that speed, so looked pretty good. Let's do another one though, just for fun.
Okay.
Clean it up, clean it up. You got this. Good, nice one. You want to do one more for a warm up?
Yeah.
If she's brushing against those outside blue cones, I'm a little concerned about the red line. Okay, good.
All right.
Ready to ramp it up?
Sure.
Ramp it up to the radical red line?
I mean, even that line was hard to kind of make the turn because I feel like my rear wheel's off the ground and it's...
Yeah, so that's the challenge here, right? Like that is actually, has a slight overhang to it. So the tires are by nature gonna come off the ground slightly there. So in order for us to make the red line, we're gonna actually need to be positioned before we get into it, right? And that's the challenge here. So that's going to be the fast line. It's actually going to be the fast way to come through here. Is to get the bike positioned so that we're already angled coming out of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, so we're going to work on some advanced braking skills now. All right, so we've got some cones set up here. We've got these 2 yellow cones and we've got 3 orange cones. So we're going to come into here, and where these yellow cones are, if we're going quickly, we're going to start braking right back here because we're going to actually, at that speed, we're going to need some time to slow down. for this turn. So we're going to be on both brakes here. Then as we're feeling that force, basically what's happening when we're braking hard is the back end is getting lighter. Even if we're riding really well, the back end is getting lighter as that front wheel gets some added compression from hard braking. When I get to the orange cones here, I'm going to let off the front brake, which is going to kind of throw the back wheel into a bit of a drift. That drift is going to allow my body to now be positioned for the red cones. Now, it's not going to be as radical as how I'm standing. I'm probably going to be more like in here or something, but it's going to allow me to actually be looking where I want to go, and my bike should be facing that direction as well.
Oh, so we're letting the rear wheel just drift a little bit here in order to set us up better.
Yeah, and like just to like really differentiate this but from skidding, like a skid is like when we're just going in a straight line and we just grab a bunch of back brake and we just skid straight, right? So there might be like a little bit of dirt moving around and stuff like that, but we're not truly skidding. We've just come off the front brake, so now the back brake is working a little too hard and it kind of breaks loose and we're already kind of moving into a cornering moment, so it brings the back end around. Definitely not as damaging to trails or anything like that as just like skidding down the main line of a trail. Right? If anything, it's just going to build up a bit of banking.
Sounds like it's both stylish and functional.
That's the whole point here. Well, the whole point is functional, but style comes along with it for free. Getting that? Take notes?
Yes, I took all the notes. We're ready to go.
All right, maybe I don't need to do any more. You want to go for one or you want me to do another?
I'll go for one.
Okay.
Sure.
Cone loam. Whoa, that was some massive cone destruction. Oh, that was good. That was a really good first attempt. So the funny thing is here that I think more speed, I mean, you were going fast, but you weren't going quite fast enough for the back end to kind of break loose.
Oh, coming faster.
That is what makes this an advanced technique is like in order to get trail braking, like the idea of trail is that it's a measurement of angles on your bicycle. That's why they call it trail. It doesn't mean like the path. So trail is like this measurement of angles that comes, I think, from motorcycle racing, where when we're braking, the angles and the pressure are changing. So if I'm coming in faster, that pressure is changing more. That's going to allow me to let off the front brake and use that back brake to bring the bike around.
Gotcha.
And bring it down. But you did a great job without actually getting the bike to slide, of getting yourself positioned to almost make the line.
All right. No, that totally makes sense though. I need to come in faster so I can brake harder.
Yes.
To change the force and the angles. Okay. Yep. Yay!
Yeah, that was wicked.
So much skid.
That was wicked. That was super sweet. You almost got it. Like you just got too excited. You're like, I'm going to get it.
I just got so much skid on the top. I was like not ready for the rest of this.
Yeah, but I mean, like you got the same line, right? Like you went pretty much on exactly the same line, but you were going way faster.
And I looked way cooler.
It was way cooler. I got like a lot of dust and stuff. Felt like I was watching a race or something.
Oh, my heart's just beating.
I bet it is.
All that pedaling. All right, you clean up this disaster.
Okay,
I'll go again.
Okay, sounds good. And it's like having kids or something.
It's like having kids. Always cleaning up their messes. Ooh,
awesome.
I don't know what I did at the bottom. I forced it a little, but the rear wheel's skidding just like you promised.
Yeah, so you are trail braking for sure, but you're also getting a little like just outright skidding in there, which is fine.
Okay.
But you're working toward that, and like that is amazing. Like you just did like a few laps and you're already getting that line. I teach this all the time in classes, and I think you'd be the first person to do that correctly. Like that's impressive that you were able to pick that up that quickly. So
I definitely collapsed on myself down here, but
it's a lot of compression at the base of that hill when you're going fast like that, right?
Yeah.
And like the thing is too is like I feel like I'm still kind of making my footwork as I finish this, so that's a lot of sudden change in compression in my left leg, in my front foot, right? This is a super great thing for us. Since we've worked on our turning in both directions so much together, now we're really adding a technical element in where we have this rapid change of compression within a turn, but we're still trying to make this smooth turn.
Right.
So we've got a lot of things going on here. We've got advanced braking skills and we've got a very advanced front foot turn.
Yeah.
Right, so this is a difficult drill, and like I say, this is like pretty tough for people to even like grasp onto, let alone actually execute. So super impressive. Let's do a few more laps. I'm going to go up top and just kind of watch you come into the section, and maybe you can watch me come in a couple times, and we'll just try to like refine that braking a little bit.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh, that was much better.
That was really good. Nice job.
Whew.
Still like a bit of skidding up here, and what I mean by that is like really relying heavily on that back brake. So now it's just a matter of refining it to where you're braking hard, and at the last second you're letting off that front brake, which scoots the back end around.
Okay.
I mean, I am braking my back tire loose here, definitely, but I'm not like kind of just like for a long time, right? Nice. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Great work. All right, so what we can see here is like there's quite a set line here. Even you are getting the back end to start to kick around there, and that was really great work. But I'm just going to demonstrate a couple times here, and what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to stay on both brakes a little bit longer than you did, and then I'm going to try to let off the back brake at the end, and that really take advantage of that moment where I'm releasing that front brake, and the back end can just start to scoot around.
Okay, cool. I'll watch. Oh, that was beautiful. Nice.
All right, so I am super impressed. You got the red line first day out, like on your first try, your third run. After using the blue cones as a berm the first time down, that wasn't bad. That was a pretty quick comeback for sure. So your homework, your mission, should you choose it, is to start to kind of have just more nuance with the braking. So there was a bit of like, okay, I need to be sliding here, so I'm just going to start sliding here, right? And you kind of like set it up with a little bit of a skid, but you had enough like directional movement to actually make this work pretty well. So that was awesome. For the sake of just your braking and your trail speed and the trails, right? Like learning to have a bit more modulation as you move into this, kind of that sensitivity of braking super hard with both brakes, which we're going to modulate well, and we're definitely not going to be skidding at all. And then when we let off that front brake and the back end starts to come around, it's less of a locked up skid.
Right.
And it's more like a combination of a drift with a little bit of braking.
Right. So the tire's still moving as
still
it's going
trying
through
to
here.
move. Yeah, it's not just like deadlocked, right? Like it's actually trying to move a little bit, but it's moving a little bit more slowly than the ground is. So I am like sliding a little bit, and it's enough to break that back end loose and get it around. You see this a lot, like watching like Enduro World Cups, things like that. There's a lot of amazing footage out there of riders just smashing turns like this. Less prevalent in, downhill for sure, because the courses are a little bit more open. We generally don't have turns this tight in downhill, so it's rarer to see in downhill racing. But pretty stoked that you could do this on your cross-country bike.
Thank you. You know what is cool too, as we've gone through this, one of the themes that I've taken away is the comfort when your bike is sliding.
Yeah, it is surprising how you can really get comfortable with this process. And as a matter of fact, riders actually rely on this, right? So this actually becomes a necessary part of your repertoire when you're riding more quickly down the trail. If I came into here and needed to make that right-hand turn down the red line, and I couldn't break the back end loose, I couldn't start drifting, I would be scared. So the fact that I'm actually able to get a drift going here gives me peace of mind. So yeah, absolutely, you can get to the point where it's not only comforting, it's necessary.
Right.
So just keep working on your skills. Super happy with what we got done today.
Me too.
I'll see you again next week.
Cool. Thank you.